Hello guys, welcome to Cinema Express. I'm Karthik. Sudip, I want to start off first with you. The title seems to be very interesting. I want to know what was the thought process behind naming the show Kohrra.
I mean, one was of course the physical aspect of it. One was the murder mystery aspect of it. That the officers, the investigators, are trying to get to the truth, which is hidden from plain sight, just around the corner. But because of these various sort of layers of suspects, the sort of fog of suspects, they're not able to clearly see through it, and finally they get to it. And of course the most important part of it was the fog in our personal relationships, the fog that kind of blindsides us and prevents us from seeing the truth in our personal relationships, and how even very, very close relationships can get affected because of this fog of past trauma or prejudices or our psychological complexities that we bring in.
You talk about the mystery, you talk about the mystery thriller and stuff. I want to know, as a creator, like what clicks for you in a mystery thriller? Like when you're making the show, what should be like the elements that should fall together?
I think it's a careful balance of plot and character. If it's pure plot, then even though it might be even though there might be lots of twists and turns, but they would seem hollow because you're not really invested in them. You don't. I mean, चीजें हो रही है, but you really don't care about them. The characters is what really makes you care about them. If you're invested in the character and then something were to happen to him, you feel for it deeply. So I think it's that balance of playing out a character drama hand in hand with these sort of plot devices to keep you going from one episode to another or one beat to another. I think that's what really it is about, and hopefully we have been able to do that. आप देख के बताएंगे.
Barun, I want to come to you. Is there a pact between you and Randeep Jha that if you don't grow your mustache, he won't take you? Because in Halal also you had a mustache. You were also a cop.
Yeah. Randeep was equally troubled with my mustache in Halal as he was in Kohrra. Like he would come to me, explain the whole thing, and eventually say, because I'm not a Sikh.
Yeah.
So my mustache doesn't easily go because I shave, so the hair is hard. So Randeep would do the whole brief and everything, and eventually be like, "Yaar, ye mooch yaar," and just go. So yeah, he's had beef with my mustache.
But do you seem to be enjoying cop roles a lot? Because before this, there was Asur, where you're also hunting for a serial killer.
It's not everyone seems to. It's very weird. Everyone seems to categorize us human beings with the profession only. But it's about the different characters. Fortunately, unfortunately, I'm getting to play cops a lot. But they're all so different, with respect to the characterization. Like this, Garundi is so extremely colorful. Even if he was not a cop, he'd be still a similar kind of a character in life. The point is the character.
I want to speak to you also, Harleen and Varun. I want to ask you guys about the acting is very contained in Kohrra, which I really like about it. There's no over emoting that is happening. A lot of things are being said in silences. What was the brief given to you guys for the characters? I want to start with you, Harleen.
What was the brief, sir?
बताइए, याद है आपको?
I think what I remember is that the reason it's come out the way it's come out is because we were given the freedom within the basic limitations of the character to perform and open up.
Okay.
ऐसे कभी हमें बांधा नहीं गया कि ये मत करो या वो मत करो. बाकी I think we had a workshop where we discussed about the character, and I think over the top generally acting नहीं करते हम, शायद इसलिए वो निकली नहीं. But ऐसे बोला नहीं गया था कि इतना जाओ या इतना मत जाओ या इतना कम करो. I think उस moment में जैसे feel हो रहा था, I think that is what was captured. I think that is what was organic, and that's what's in the show. So you can add to that.
या दोनों बहुत अच्छे एक्टर हैं बेसिकली, ये कहना चाह रही हैं ये.
नहीं, ये तो
इसलिए मैं आपको पूछ रहा हूँ कि आप कुछ ऐड कर दीजिए. What was the brief, sir?
No, I think a lot of it came from the script.
Yeah, exactly.
The script demanded a lot of those silences, and I think a general sense of how to play it. We were trying to keep it realistic and not over the top at all, because real life is not over the top. There's difference between colorfulness that some characters might have, especially given we are in Punjab, but that unnaturally over the top is a artificial sort of
It was a strong no, I think, for everyone who was hired on the show. And the thing is that there was not a lot of briefing happening. Like he said, there was Sudip is actually pretty clear. Ki pad lo. He actually hates briefing and giving narration.
See, so I was close to the answer.
You don't give narration and stuff, or like
No, I
He has
I hate
only one clause this man has in his contract is I will not narrate to anyone. But I think मुझे सुदीप के सामने तारीफें करनी पड़ेंगी मैं पहले पीछे. So the thing is, the genius of the whole thing was that he hired the right people for the right job.
Yeah.
I think, and everyone, not only the cast members. I think, like he says, everything flew from the script. Everyone hit the ground running. There was very few tweaks that were happening. Whatever little bit was happening on the set. Before that, we did our workshop, the correct amount that was required to break the ice, know the characters, know what these guys expected from the actors. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think like what Sir said, I think it was in the script. Everything was written. It is such a well written, such a well researched, and such a layered script that every character, it was all there.
Sudeep, I want to ask you, when there is a setting of Punjab and you have to get a contemplative cop, is Suvinder Vicky the obvious choice that comes into your mind?
No, actually, I'll tell you what. We in the last couple of years, a lot of Suvinder Paji's work has come out. But just to put things in perspective, we actually cast him before all of this work had come out. Before Cat had come out, before Meel Patthar had come out, and Suvinder Paji actually had a very small part in Urta. And he had an equally small part in Paatal Lok.
Yeah.
He had one scene in Paatal Lok.
That was very visible.
It was visible. I mean, he played a bad guy. And in fact, incidentally, trivia मैं आपको देता हूँ, his character in Paatal Lok was also called Balbir Singh.
Okay, yes.
We wanted to keep that continuity going. So, what I'm saying is, I've had a past association with Suvinder Paji, and we cast him actually while we were writing it. We just knew, and we hadn't seen much of his work, but I just knew he is right for this part. He has the gravitas.
Yeah.
I really liked him in Chauthi Koot.
Yeah.
That was I feel.
Whenever he's driving a car, I'm only thinking of Meel Patthar, like those scenes.
Right.
I want to ask you guys, like, it's a very serious, grim show, but there are these nice nuggets of humor that is there. How did you keep a straight face when, like, Suvinder sir reads the script and says, like, babe as babe? Because when he's reading the message, like, how did you guys, like, because the lines you're saying are funny, but nobody is exactly laughing. Like, everybody has a straight face. Right. How did you, like, navigate the humor? There's a lot.
It was, I think the idea was not worry about the small things or small joys of the jokes. It was to deliver the best that we can. I think everyone had that on their mind. So we were just worried about how to deliver it the best.
And Punjabi is just naturally so funny. I mean, how can you... Even if you're doing a murder show in Punjab or a grim relationship show, there's no way.
You wrote it like that. It was meant to be
it's just so natural.
Straight-faced.
It's just so straight-faced.
I'm sure that must have been the case. You were saying this is going to be hilarious when they happen.
Even on set, when we and I would be hanging out with these Punjabi actors, most of the times I would be in splits, Just something or the other they would say in a very offhand manner, Even
for different reasons.
Different reasons.
A lot of it.
There was no humor in my scenes. I never even smiled.
No.
So, yeah.
I want to talk to you about your character. It has so much like emotional turmoil in her relationship with her father is very extremely sour. I want to know, like, when you got the role, when you got the script, how did you think of approaching it?
I think the first thing I generally do is I write down my qualities right now. How am I? And then how is the character?
Okay.
And then what are the things that are similar and what are the things that are not similar? And how do you reach the things that are not similar?
Okay.
And how do you not play yourself? So I think वो वहीं पे काफी कुछ clear हो जाता है. बाकी वो जो toxicity है and all, you have to go to the spaces and the darkness in your life, the relationships that you've possibly shared with somebody which was toxic, the patriarchy that at some point in life all of us women might have kind of कोई ना कोई comment में या किसी ना किसी चीज में आपको feel हुआ होगा.
Yeah.
So then you put together all of these things and then you just build something with the help of, Sudip sir, with Gunjit, with Randeep sir. So I think that was the basic process.
Sudeep, since NH10, I have always found that there is this underlying violence in your work, like even if it's physical violence or like a very emotional violence that is there. When you like became a creator and like you're not a writer, and when you're writing, then you can write, okay, this happens. But when you have to like create it or like direct it and stuff, how far are you willing to go when it comes to showing violence on screen?
Can I answer that for you? Pretty far.
I mean, see, it really depends on what you're trying to say with it. You know, I've always believed that if you're playing violence for effect, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to play violence for effect. I don't want to play it for the joy of doing a great action scene, or for the joy of saying, oh, look how, you know, we are so cool, we can go this far. Most of the times when you're writing something violent in a overall sort of a violent setup, you are trying to put across a point. You're trying to make them flinch with the violence. You're trying to say that, look, this is how it feels. Look, it hurts when somebody is beaten up in a police lockup. You know, it hurts. And because, say for example, if you talk about Kohrra, because of how Garundi beats up this one character in, you know, how brutally he beats up this one character in the lockup. In the end, when he says, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it because, you know, you feel for him, you feel for the other guy, you know, you feel the moment. And I don't think you would have felt that if it was just a few slaps around and, you know, because you never got to the truth of what it actually means, what police brutality could mean, or what any kind of violence could do.
So, and testimony to that is what he was saying was that I don't want to do it only for I can do it so well. Testimony to that is whatever shows work he's done, it's not about the action actually. It's not. It's not going to be very well choreographed flying and that achievement.
Yeah.
It's only to display what he's saying is on the emotion of it really hurts kind of a thing.
So I want to ask you this: like, there has been so many shows that has been based in Punjab. Like, there has been Cat, Masoom, there has been Tabbar. Like, when you get a show, the setting is also again Punjab. How do you manage to ensure that there is some sort of newness, of some new facets of the state you can show?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, none of this had come out when we were writing it. So that fear of, I mean, we weren't comparing to any of these, but given that it's Punjab and it has been so exposed in pop culture and in cinema, you know, over the years, there is always that, you know, there's always that fear of, oh, are we going to, you know, sort of fall into the, you know, trap of, you know, not projecting something new. But I think it's just such a rich place, and, you know, there is just so much to explore in Punjab. I had earlier, you know, researched and written a film set in Punjab, but even at that point of time, I knew that I've only sort of tapped the, you know, the surface of it, you know, and also Urta was a very specific, very specific subject. You know, we were only sort of dealing with one particular phenomena, and I knew that there's a lot more to do. Again, Gunjit Chopra, who along with Diggy Sisodia, you know, he's the writer creator of the show. Gunjit is our sort of resident Punjab expert. You know, he really knows his Punjab. You know, he spent a lot of time there, and a lot of that authenticity, you know, came from him. You know, in fact, he had helped me out with my research for Urta as well. Okay. I remember both of us traveling to like all of these godforsaken places and meeting all kinds of characters at that point of time. You know, 8 years back in 2014, almost 10 years back now. You know, so yeah, you know, he brought in a lot of that color and that authenticity in his writing. And
Punjab's encyclopedia.
Yeah, he's really the encyclopedia of Punjab, and that's why what you see is a sort of Punjab which is not something we have, you know, hopefully we have seen. You know, it's not just the sarson ka khet. You know, there is also this industrial side of Punjab. We keep forgetting how industrial a place it is, and we wanted to capture that. That's why we shot the whole thing in Ludhiana. You know, like presenter side, nothing ever gets shot in Ludhiana. You know, it's not the shooting destination to go to in Punjab. You know, it's either Amritsar or Chandigarh. Ludhiana happens to fall in between. There's also this transport side of Punjab, and we kind of brought all of that in, the rural, the semi-urban, the urban, The idea was to present a really more wholesome, sort of side of Punjab than it has been done before.
See, when you're like indulging with something that can be so political, okay, there can be a lot of facets. I think whenever any person goes into the details of anything, you can't be not political. But like currently, when there can be a lot of backlash and everything, so kaise ab, like how do you do it?
So I think my work has always been very political.
Yeah.
But I think the time to do overtly socio-political stories is dead. That time is gone now. I don't think. As heartbreaking as it sounds, I don't think there is any point in even going there anymore. But what we have tried to do with this one is really focus on the family as the unit of politics instead of the larger society, which I was probably doing in my earlier work, dealing with larger issues or larger caste systems or larger society as the unit of politics. Here we are talking about family as the unit of politics or personal politics, really. And we have really drilled down upon that. What is the politics like between a father and a daughter? What is the politics like between two brothers and the sister-in-law? And really get into that of it and all the darker aspects of it. How it affects the psyche of a particular individual. How do you come out of that rut and all of that. So थोड़ा वो attention.
Yeah, but थोड़ा tone down नहीं हो जाता. मतलब like you can't comment on like a system or you can just show a family and then see that this percolates towards something else.
Yeah.
थोड़ा tone down होता है क्या?
I don't know tone down होता है कि नहीं, because for me, personally making Kohrra was actually, it affected me more than anything that I have done earlier, because कहीं ना कहीं you feel it more, because you might not have had a caste related incident in your life, so you're looking at it from the position of empathy. You're looking at it from the position of a certain objectivity, say a violence, because of your caste or your background or something. But when it is a father and a daughter or between two brothers, it's very personal. It becomes personal for the actor who is performing it. It becomes personal for the writers. It becomes personal for the director. So you feel the violence, the emotional violence of it a lot more. And shooting some of it was actually pretty taxing, pretty difficult. Especially her scenes. I think really, all of us. I remember Randeep.
And she's locked inside and he...
All the scenes in the house. That house after 4 days, I think Randeep, I remember 4th day, he coming to me and saying, thank God we are not shooting another day in this house. I just need to get out of here. And I felt the same, we all felt the same, because those scenes were really emotionally, heavy.
Okay, so the final question. My editor will kill this if I don't ask this. Paatal Lok 2. क्या चल रहा है?
मरवाओगे आप, नेटफ्लिक्स उस पे हैं अभी हम बट हाँ चल रहा है, एडिट चल रहा है, पोस्ट चल रहा है. आई डोंट नो इफ आई एम अलाउड टू से दिस, बट हाँ एडिट पोस्ट चल रहा है. इट शुड कम आउट होपफुली अराउंड दिस टाइम नेक्स्ट ईयर.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Best of luck.